Peace, peace, peace. Thanks everyone for joining today for this live. I'm gonna wait for a few people to join in. I appreciate this time with y'all. Panata Pama Uncle Jet Uncle Josh and Neb. Uben Nefi Care Panabu Haru Maati to everyone. Just give me a few minutes as I'm setting things up. Today we're gonna be doing Astro Talk, talking about the lecture tour and what is called as transit reading. I appreciate everyone coming in. And wait for a few more people to come in and we'll get started. Give me a few seconds, people. We are live on Karmic Dynasty. I'm your host, Ramutef Qeb, Ramutef Qeb. I am Ramutef Qeb. I am a student of Tesha Para, the Holy House of Ra. I'm a master astrologer of the Neteru Tep, which is Neteru meaning divine, Twa meaning star, Tep meaning time. I'm also a practitioner of divinations. I'm set out to learn all different type of divinations to help our people in many ways that we can. I'm trying to get things as far as these settings. So just work with me, people. This is my first time doing this. I love it, though. This is pretty fun. But peace, peace, peace to those who's coming in. Grand Rising. All right, all right. Everybody say what's up. Let's bring in that peace, love, joy, and happiness. Today's lecture tour, I'm going to just, recap a couple of things from the Karmic Dynasty tour that's coming to a city near you. Within this week, she will be in Washington, D.C. for the books. Was it Books, Bikes? Yeah, the Books, Bikes, and etc. tour. I got to look it up again. I apologize. But she'll be in Washington, D.C. on August 21st. So be on the lookout. Tickets are still in effect, but definitely get your tickets pretty soon. But give me 1 second. I'm trying to get everything set up, so everyone just bear with me for a little bit. So let me get started. Peace, peace, peace to everyone. Thank you for coming in. I'll give a shout out to Motown Vet. Peace, peace, peace. Fallon, Too Real. You love and like to you as well. Salima Ellis, Matriarch Salima Ellis. Peace to you. Vanessa Henderson. Van Miller, you're in the building. Appreciate you showing up. But yeah, I was just reminded. I was just reminded. Tickets is definitely not on sale, but if you do show up to the event, please let us know in advance and we'll definitely work with you. So before I start going into the whole astrology talk, I want to make sure I make a statement. The cards that I'm using are actually oracle cards. With these cards, I want to see what the audience is going to say about what type of energy we're going to bring to these events. So to give a minor breakthrough or minor breakdown of what I'm trying to do, I want to use these cards. And in astrology, you understand that, there's 12 houses, 13 signs, but some people know there's only 12. But 13 signs, you have your planets, energies, things of that nature. So I'm going to focus on the first 6 houses of astrology. And I'm going to use these cards, and I want the audience to let us know what type of energy you get from each house. I'm going to describe the house, and then whatever card pops up, let's just say, for instance, Gemini comes up, right? I want to know what everybody's name will think when it comes to dealing with self, dealing with Gemini. And I'll give like a brief letdown when it comes to description. dealing like, say, Gemini is dealing with communication, right? Creativity. So when we're dealing with the first house, for example, you have the first house is dealing with yourself, your mask that you hide behind. Um, when putting Gemini in effect, what would that say for you? Being more creative within your appearance, being more creative with your communication, so on and so forth. So that's how we're going to kind of start it off. So if you have your pen and paper or anything that you take notes with, I'll advise everyone to have that on deck because this is going to be actually fun. This is going to help introduce those who are watching how to assess certain levels of when it comes to dealing with astrology. Because as you know, as much as I talk about it, I would love other people to learn in certain aspects of it. So before we begin, let's go ahead and talk about these tours. So moving forward, we have the city dates or the community event dates for Karmic Dynasty. Karmic Dynasty presents her lecture tour starting off in Washington, D.C. on August 21st. Those tickets are no longer being sold. I just been informed. Last day was yesterday. That's my apologies. But I just still want to let people know that we will be out there, including myself. I will be out there for this event. We'll also be out here in Pittsburgh and Stilltown on September 14th for the Neteru Qeb, which is an event that we both put together as far as dealing like as an astrologer conference where I'm going to teach and also give light to certain things within dealing with an astrology. Then we have the next event, which is the Columbus, Ohio event, which is on September 18th, which is dealing with the unschooled the unschooled schooling. But I'll show the tickets in a little bit, but I'm just going off of here. And then our final and last stop is in Detroit, Michigan on October 16th. So the books, bikes, and bags, that's what I was missing. Book, bikes, and bags, etc. It will be this Saturday at 10 a.m. from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in Washington, D.C. Myself and Joy will be there. If you need information, the information is down on the bottom. Tickets and info. Again, tickets are no longer going on sale, but still donations. If you want to donate a book to this drive, be sure to contact Joy Allen at mkdtnt@gmail.com. Also, on Saturday, September 4th, myself and Joy will be here in Pittsburgh for our Astrology Conference 2021, Year 11, Neteru Qeb. All information is there, 55 for the event tickets, 60 for virtual. Definitely send your payments, or if you're a vendor, send your payments or infos or any kind of questions to the info set on the bottom right part of your screen of mkdtnt@gmail.com, where I'll be sending, understanding what star validation is, understanding your personal star readings, as we discussed in the last video. Check that out, which was the On My Way to City Near You, as we're going to start to explain a lot of things and what comes dealing with dealing with astrology, dealing with astronomy, dealing with the stars, dealing with all different type of divination practices. Next, we have one event that's definitely going to change the dynamics of all type of ways of schooling. We're doing a lecture tour out there in Columbus, Ohio. It's called the Unhome, or not Unhome School, but Unschool Evolution, where myself and 6 Hamets will be there to discuss and put things together when it comes to the education of our children. No offense to anybody else out there, but our children definitely need this type of work. The plan is to bring together all the bright minds that want to participate. Again, if you go back to the video that we did previously, you get more insight into that. And also, I might have a few of the Hamets come on later on in the day, so just be prepared. Also, again, if you want information for this event as well, contact Joy at mkdtnt@gmail.com. But let me go right back. And also for my own event as well, the part of the event that we're doing, if you want to contact me, you can contact me at dtaliaferro 84@gmail.com. I'll put it in the banner. So those who want to contact me for this event as well, more than welcome, reach out to me and we'll get things started. And lastly, for her last event of her lecture tour is the matriarchal magic. This one is definitely going to be off the chain. And and then for this one, this is going to be discussed with, the title of the tour, the lecture, matriarchal magic. It's going to be in Detroit, Michigan on October 16th at 4 p.m. until depending on how everything's going. Tickets are on sale too as well. Hit PayPal information. The information also will be in the tickets. If you got any other information that you want to know about these events, again, contact mkdtnt@gmail.com. And I appreciate you all for taking the time out and listening to that. So now let's get started. So when it comes to the tours, the books, bikes, and bags lecture tour, as we discussed in that one's going to be a very interesting way of giving back to the people. When it comes to that particular event, it's definitely going to be known as something to get out and be in the community. It's not necessarily showing your face, but at the same time, it's about giving back. We understand that during these stupid pandemics, we definitely have a lot of things going on. So what way can we do to, brighten a child's mind? We all have minis of books. Me, I have a ton of books, something I used to not do when I was a kid because I was always into fantasy books. And then also, RPGs and things of that nature. But as I got older, I started getting more and more and more into books. So this type of event is definitely going to be near to me. And then just riding around, I'm still looking for my rollerblades because I did say that in the last live, but I'm still trying to get my rollerblades. Trust me, I miss doing that. But if not, we'll be biking, talking, eating, things of that nature. Definitely glad to see everyone doing their thing. So I want those who may be in the area of Washington, D.C., if you catch this, be there, link up with us, contact us. As you see as my email on the bottom, definitely contact us so we can get things started and talking about this tour. When it comes to the next stages within that tour, it's definitely we need people to look within themselves, find books that you already mastered, and contact us so we can take them off your hand and give it to a child who can master it themselves. As far as that goes, definitely show up if you're able to show up. If not, just be on the lookout for us because I will be riding. Now, for the next event, the event that myself and Joy is going to be a part of, which is this Neteru Tep. That, again, is basically speaking on, the ideals of astrology and astronomy when dealing with reading people's charts. I'm going to have to also put this out as a disclaimer. The things that I give to a person is going to be very deep to you. So don't be afraid of it. That's all I can say. Don't be afraid of it. I'm going to help you align yourself in that type of area because I'm mixing a whole bunch of different esoteric practices within this event. This event is definitely going to be off the chain when it comes to the information. And then as you come to the city, you definitely see the beautifulness of our city. And my city is definitely a beautiful place to be. Granted, there's a lot of crazy things going out there, but at the same time, that nightlife, when y'all come down here to Pittsburgh and y'all see that nightlife and go on Mount Washington, you're going to love it. Also, when it comes to the other additives to that event, I'm definitely still looking for vendors because, like I said in the last live, I would love to have folks to be there that practice different divination practices because this is about a minting of the Neterus, as I said in the last live. It's a meeting of the gods, in a sense, and the goddess. But I don't like to use those words, so I use a proper term, which is a Neteru, which means, divine and meta nature. So those who come, reach out to us. The information is right here. It's going on in the banner. If you want to contact me for anything, reach out to me, message me, things of that nature. The way that you can find me is right here on Facebook as Ramutef Qeb. You can find me also on Instagram as Ramutef_Qeb as well. Message me. We'll talk. If you need any information, any guidance, because that's what I am, a spiritual advisor. So bringing that type of attitude and that type of energy to this event is what I'm here to do. I'm here to help our people rise to a different frequency. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And then the next tour, when it comes to the unschooling evolution, that one's going to be very, very, what's the right word to put it? It's going to be a very great turn of events when it comes to dealing with our children and schooling and their education. Just to give some insight on my part in the project is that I'm going to find a way to assist in what is called the occupation or the career of a child, because as we all grew up in certain areas, and some of us who even went to college, we all end up getting a degree that we just put on the table, like it's like a trophy, basically something that we did. We didn't actually accomplish anything with it. So to eliminate that process, I thought about that, and I found a way or method to help a parent guide their child within that arena. I'm not going to tell you to tell them what to do. It's more so guiding them. If you know there's certain things about your child, when you understand their inner world and what they bring forth from their inner world, you're going to start to find out what they're going to be good at. When you find that out truly, you'll be able to guide them in that right direction. So if they end up deciding to go to this, institution of colleges, they'll excel at it instead of just being in there and just being there just to party and everything else, which is going to be an experience. But at the same time, allow them to be themselves still, but give you the understanding that you will know your child. And then once we get deep into that, definitely those who share their information with us, we said in the last broadcast that, your contribution will help, if that makes sense. Now, before I begin, anyone who, all those who are watching at this moment, before we get started with this Astro talk, I'm going to break down a few things when it comes to dealing with astrology. Most people don't know that there is different forms of astrology. Just actually, from my understanding, there's three. The way that I break it down is that you have your lunar, your solar, and your sidereal way of doing astrology. When you're dealing with a lunar, it's the ones that mostly everybody knows about, and that is, the 12 signs with 30 days of each sign. That's a lunar cycle calendar in a sense, just to be honest. During that one, it's a form of how I teach. It's a form of how this world wants to control you, how this world would love to put you in certain aspects so you can follow their rules and structure that they place before us when it comes dealing with all the traumas that the people of the world have endured, especially our people. Moving forward, there's a solar account, and then when it comes dealing with the solar astrology, in a sense, it's dealing with Eastern. Eastern has more of a way of setting it up, but they still correlate with the Gregorian calendar, with the Western style, which gives everything 30 days, which is not how it's supposed to be ran. But at the same time, as you start learning at these tours that we do, or just learning from myself, when I start to put myself more out there when teaching this type of things, you're going to start to understand that the solar is definitely on point when it comes to its cardinal points, but when it comes to its calculation, that is very off, because a lot of people are going to understand. And if you go back to a few videos that we did through Branch of Knowledge, things of that nature, you're going to find that we have certain we've been lied to in a lot of degrees when it comes to dealing with astrology. So a lot of people who are thinking they're one sign, that's not your real sign. And the way that I help people awaken to that is by understanding what sidereal is. Sidereal is actually dealing with the stars, not just the placements and things of that nature. Each placement has a group of different type of stars, that's different type of constellations, that's dealing like with the Nimu and which are the 36 deacons and things of that nature. Peace to you, Quantier. Moving forward, so the way that I'm going to start talking to people about this astrology and things of that nature, I'll need everybody to let me know when you have your pen and pencil ready because we're about to get started pretty soon. So the one thing I'm going to tell you is that we're only going to deal with the first 6 houses. So houses is a form that I teach, um, that I've been teaching. Houses represents God's temple, right, or God's home or God's palace, things of that nature. So each house out of those 12 houses are divided into sectors that become a place of God or a place that's within your being. Because they always say, your body is your temple. So in astrology, we understand that each house is a portion of your temple or the walkways to go through that temple. Then I want to say that dealing with those, you got to understand the calculations when it's dealing with your the signs that's below and the signs that's above, the signs that you can't see because obviously they're either around us or below us, and then the signs that you can see when it comes to the day and the light. Those are the signs that we're talking about when it comes to dealing with certain aspects of your houses. So 1 through 6, it goes counterclockwise. 1 through 6 is dealing with your inner world, everything that's dealing with you from your physical all the way to the inner parts. The 7 through 8 is what you basically manifest out into the world, where there's certain placements of planets, constellations, and North Node, South Node, black moons, and all that other stuff, and asteroids. On the day of your birth, those energies is what, how you say, help build you as a person. And as we go along, I'm gonna start explaining each one. So before we begin, give me a few seconds. I'm gonna shuffle these cards. These cards that I showed earlier are actually oracle cards, but they're in the form of astrology. So this particular one is dealing with the element of water. So when it comes to dealing with water, we understand that let's have some little fun with it. So I'm gonna have everybody view this as if anybody's aware of the last Airbender, the last Avatar, what is it? Avatar, the last Airbender. So when we're dealing with these elements, I want people to understand that's the type of level that we're going to go with when it comes to the type of energy that we're going to bring forth within these houses. So again, the question will be what type of energy are we going to bring to these events? When I say that, just think about it. What type of energy should we bring to these events? So before we go any further, again, first house is dealing with yourself, your physical body, the sign that you are, and then we'll get into that later. But that's the mask that you hide behind. So when I say the type of energy we need to bring to our physical body, we need to be in a more mutable change, or basically how you say a more flowing nature. Allow ourselves to gravitate with water, do some pouring out some liquor, things of that nature. So when it comes to that, or even if you want to, you can just say mugs need to wake up and take a bath first, things of that nature. We can go that far. When it comes to each one of these houses, each one is described in a certain way. When it comes to dealing with planetary energy, I'll describe on a basic level what each one represents, so you can give an idea in the chat to speak what you think is going to be for that first house. Piece of the nature. When it comes to the signs as well, we'll understand that we'll start to think about certain signs and what they represent, and then I'll give you a minor basic word to use when dealing with these zodiacs in a sense. Yeah. So you just give you a breakdown of each one. Each one has their own visual contact, and each one has a representation of a certain one. So if you got your pen and paper, I'm gonna start shuffling them, and then just remember the question is, what type of energy do we need to bring to this tour? So let me stop one more time. So again, when it comes to a transit, so that's basically what we're all about to do right now. It's called a transit, where we're going to take our being and we're going to predict what's going to happen in the future type thing. From that prediction, we're going to find out whatever sign it comes with, whatever planet that comes with it, and what type of element we need to bring when it comes to dealing with these first 6 houses. So from that, we're going to be able to predict what myself and those who are being part of these events are going to, have to bring to the table, so we can be able to change or alter or rearrange anything that we want done, or how you say, manifest into what we need to do. And the reason why I want to do this is because I feel that the people, we need your help, we need your energy. I need to collect you like the spirit bomb, in a sense, like Goku do, and I need everybody's energy. So yeah, we're definitely gonna get started. And then also, if folks want to know their how you say your true sign, put your birthday in the comments, and I'll tell you what your true sign is. And if you want more information, then obviously just either email me or text me. Well, not text me, but Facebook message me, things of that nature. So I'm gonna do a 6-card spread, each one representing one house. Each house represents a certain aspect of self, not just within the reader, but we're talking about everybody who's on this live and everybody's gonna watch it later. Just give me a few and we'll get started. Oh, we already know you're a segment Leo. We already know that. No doubt. It's definitely your birthday just passing. Mesa Neferu to you. Happy belated birthday to you, Elmore. Definitely appreciate your time and effort for what you do for our people. Continue the great works. Continue to change, and definitely need more brothers like yourself making those big changes. Peace to more light as well. Peace to you. July, Vanessa, I think you're a Taurus, Vanessa. No, you might be a Gemini. Yeah, you might be a Taurus. Yeah, you're a Taurus. Vanessa, you're a Taurus. You're a Ptah Het Haru Oshun. That's what you are, Vanessa. Team Erica McCoy, you are a Os Virgo. You're not a Libra or a Scorpio, however they do it, but you're what they call a Virgo. For July 10th, you are, was that Zena Williams? You are a Gemini. Yeah, you're a Gemini. $11.15. You are a Libra. October 9th. Did I do my October 9th? Yes, I did. But yes, those are just your sun signs. So I'm gonna teach everybody something real quick. So there's 3 signs that you want to go by. It's your rising, your moon, and your sun sign. Your rising sign, again, is your body sign. That's the sign that you are on this round. So when I look at you or you look at me, you'll be able to see a constellation, because each one of us have a constellation body. So say for instance, like myself, I'm what they call a Taurus rising with a Leo sun. So a lot of my features is of Taurus and Leo. And then when it comes to certain other aspects of myself with my Pisces moon, then you'll see the Pisces part of myself, which is the weirdness of myself. But those are the type of things that a person needs to understand when it comes to dealing with self. with you being under that Western style calendar, again, you've been, how you say, programmed to be them, what they want you to be. Certain people are successful in that life, certain people are not. Oh, no doubt. I appreciate you allowing me to step in for you as well today. Dua, Queen Mother. All right, so now I'm about to cut these cards and we're about to get started, people. And we'll do one card for a special day. All right. So now, the first thing I want you to write down on your paper is 1 through 6 going down. 1 through 6 going down. When the audience is ready, just give me a thumbs up so we can continue on. So I can tell you what the first house again is. What the first house is. So just a reminder: 1 through 6 going down. 1 through 6 going down. And those who are joining us, what I'm about to do is teach you a basic way of reading a chart from 1 through 6 in the housing system. If you're not aware of it, in astrology, when you get a natal chart, there's a symbol of 12 houses ranging from counterclockwise 1 going through 12. Each one is a representation of who you are as a person from the inside out. Right now, what we're about to initiate is your rising sign, everyone's rising sign. So the first house is dealing with your appearance and your personality, things of that nature. So before we begin, if you're ready, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, something, so I can initiate, so we can start this first house and start explaining it and go into detail with it. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. All right, so again, we're about to start with the first house. The first house is dealing with self, the mask that you hide behind. This is the sign that we all different, every one of us that's in this group, we all have one particular sign that we're dealing with. So for me, we're dealing with a Taurus. So we're going to talk about the first house. The type of energy that we need to bring to our first house, which is dealing with our appearance, is Neptune. So I'm going to give a little bit. Let me see if I can adjust the lighting just a little bit. No, I can't show y'all my spirits. I can't show y'all that. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but I know you can see the words. So Neptune is bringing the energy to our first house. Neptune's being keyword. So we're going to say next to number 1 on the diagram that I had you ask, what I asked you guys to go 1 through 6. For number 1, I want you to write the basic word, which is I am. All right. I, which is, the letter I, then AM, I am. So this is representing me, who I am, right? Then we're going to write down Neptune. Neptune being the basic keyword, which is I dream. So we have I am, I dream. Those are the keywords for that one. So for the audience, I would like for you to understand what I dream represents. So I dream goes with your imagination, goes with spiritual connections, also deals with solitude and transformation in certain ways within the mental parts of your mind. So for you, the audience, when you see Neptune, what is the first thing that you feel Neptune will represent for you, the type of energy you need to bring to an event or to yourself, to who I am? So in the comments, if you would like, write down what you think Neptune will represent to you as a person. What do you need to do for your appearance with Neptune? So, for instance, for myself, I would say um, the type of energy I need to focus on with self would be in a form of meditating, communicating with my ancestors, communicating with the spirits I work with, communicating within myself, my soul, allowing myself, my Ori, to be giving me guidance, allow myself to be enclosed within a certain setting, dealing with the element of water, but within earth. So it's kind of making me feel kind of muddy. So I don't want to come into this event with a muddy attitude. You see what I'm getting at? So I want folks to do the same thing, like try to figure out what I dream will represent to you, who is I am. And then as you're thinking about it, write it down on the paper. Give me one word that would describe for you that you think that we should bring to this event. And I'll give y'all 15 seconds, maybe 10 minutes. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. So just remember, one being I am, which is dealing with your appearance of self. And then you have I dream representing Neptune. So the type of energy that you need to bring, that's what you want to write down. What should we bring, or what you should bring when come dealing to these events? So in a retrospect, it's definitely telling us that we all got to come correct spiritually. That's a fact. Definitely come correct spiritually. All right, bet. Nobody got anything? The first word that comes to mind, what do you say? Put it in the comments. First word that comes to mind. When it says I dream, what's the first thing that comes to mind? And if you look at the card itself, you can see the elevation, the solitude, the quietness, the calmness, the groundiness of oneself within spirit, elevating to another part. There we go. Thank you. Appreciate you. Positive. Bringing a positive energy within self. Appreciate you. Quantiere, bringing strength to yourself. So it's like, yeah, there we go. So those are the type of words that I'll hold true to myself, and I will bring that in. Inner strength. I appreciate that. Inner strength. Definitely. So that's for your first house. So remember, with your appearance and your attitude, you want to bring positive inner strength. That's noted. I appreciate that. So now, let's go ahead and go to the second house. This is going to be great. All right, so now, the second house is dealing with what is called, on a basic level, I have. So under 2, you want to put I have. And I have represents on a basic, well, we'll talk about your business, the things that you have, your business, how to elevate your business, because this is a house that a lot of people use for financial gain, things of that nature. So number 2 is representing your money, your finances, your business, all things in retrospect. So on the bright side, it's like a show on an Oprah show. It's like, there's abundance coming to everyone. So under 2, you want to put Jupiter. So on a retrospect of this one, perseverance. All right, I'll put that down too. I appreciate that. Number 2 will be Jupiter. So Jupiter, we're going to say on a basic level, Jupiter will be I explore. That's it. I explore. Jupiter's representing I explore. I spelled that all wrong. I gotta learn how to get this computer thing together. So Jupiter represents what is called I explore. So with this being in our second house, dealing with our house of business, on retrospect we'll talk about I explore. So I explore will be on a basic level, dealing with knowledge, dealing with travel, dealing with higher knowledge, as to say, in a sense. Also dealing with expansion, like the things that you can expand in or put your energy into and make it abundance. At the same time, it can be detrimental to you because it all depends on what else is in that house. But for your second house, we're all getting nothing but what is called great opportunities, in a sense. So for me to explain for myself the things that I would have to bring to this event, the type of energy I need to bring, a lot of my wits in, a lot of the knowledge that I've learned and have obtained, not just from others, but with the things of the higher knowledge that I learned from self. From that higher knowledge, I'm going to be able to spread that energy to influence those who need that great uplift, who need inspiration, who needs anything that I can be able to give that's a part of myself to you. So for other folks, I want everybody to say or think, when you see I have and I explore, what's one word that you can say for what type of energy you need to bring when it comes to the things that you have business wise? And I'll give folks a couple of minutes or a minute or two to write anything in the comments. So again, it's I have, I explore, exploring as in abundance, exploring as in higher knowledge, wisdom, understanding, things of that nature. To your business, what type of energy do you need to bring? That's what the cards is saying or asking. So again, second house is dealing with Jupiter. What is Jupiter saying to you? Hold on. So yeah, write down one thing in the comments which you think is. There you go. I appreciate that. Wisdom, sharing knowledge, definitely. So to your business, you want to bring wisdom and sharing knowledge. That's noted. I appreciate that. Humility, definitely bring that to the game. So for all those who's here speaking, this is what we all need to bring to our second house, to our own business. Our own business, we need to be able to within expand within our wisdom, to sharing that knowledge that we all have attained, to be humble in a lot of things and humility. I appreciate that. Great gratitude. So now, first house. Go back to the first house. Dealing with I am and Neptune. The keywords that we all want to bring to the table is positive, inner strength, perseverance. When it comes to the second house, the type of energy we want to bring to our business is gaining the wisdom and sharing knowledge, being humble and humility, and also all of us explore the depths of what we need to do. when it comes to our own business. Now, number three. Number three is one of my favorites because that's where a lot of my, that's where my sun sign is at. So when it comes to this third house is definitely going to be a something that we all should have a kick out of. We all should get a kick out of this. So the third house is dealing with, and number three, in the slot number three, we're talking about, I think, on a basic level. So this is dealing with communication. The things that we need to communicate towards this event, the type of energy we need to bring to this event, and our communication with others, or communication with ourselves, right? Oh, let's see what this is going to bring. Oh, this is going to be great. So now people, this is going to be great. So I think it's dealing with your communication, the things, in a sense of saying, how they say, think before you say type thing. So this is the type of the type of energy we're going to be bringing. So for the third house, we are, this is crazy that they would do this, but in the third house, we're dealing with what they call Scorpio, or what I call Serket, or if you want to, we're talking about Oya as well. So, so in this particular card, we can go in all kind of different directions. Real talk, we definitely could. So the type of communication that we need to bring to the table when we do these events, on a basic level, we're going to call it on a basic level, it's called I circulate. So in slot number three, you want to put, I think, stop playing with me, computer. I think I circulate. So, Scorpio. This is going to be great. Yeah, so dealing with Scorpio. Most of us should know a lot of Scorpios in our life, or we have met one, or we actually brought that out of ourselves. When it comes to dealing with this particular sign, we'll go on the basic levels of it, right? I don't know how I'm gonna do this, because this one's kind of, this is, like I said, it can go in all kind of directions. But let's go ahead and stick with the basics. So, in this particular card, let's go from PG to PG 13 rated R. That's what we'll do. PG 13 rated R. All right. So when you look at this card, understand the depths of what it's saying. Even though it's representing the scorpion itself, when we understand that it has its tail, its venomous tail, its legs, its claws, and things of that nature. But you understand that there's a feminine aspect who's carrying a sword that's stabbing into, the depths of oneself. So with these words, we can say, the understanding for Scorpio, we can give a basic level of dealing with money, certain aspects of death and rebirth. You can also talk about, watching what you say, in a sense, sexually, in a sense, dealing with, the depths of your intimacy in your mind, the way that you would love to share things with others, or like to circulate your business. So in this particular topic, we're talking about we're gonna stick with the basics. So when you see Scorpio dealing with I think, dealing with the images that we see. So when it comes to communication, we need to bring about how you say the death of certain aspects that plague our people. From that, we need to go ahead and revitalize and use that same type of venom and action in our words to rejuvenate our people. To from the first two houses, sharing the type of knowledge and wisdom and understanding to communicate that in a very deep way, like how they say your words is as sharp as a sword, things of that nature. So we're asked to do those type of things, not to bring forth that lower nature in our talking, but more so in the level of um, knowing what to say right when communicating these ideas from the energy. Like I said, all this energy that we're bringing. So it's also telling us that we need to talk in a certain type of manner, like a sensual manner, but not too flirtatious. So when we're at these events and we're bringing this energy in, from understanding that we need to, bring that type of strength to our inner strength and wisdom to our inner self, things of that nature, allowing ourselves to communicate in a form that goes best to our nature in the first house, because we understand that the way that we're able to get or the way that we're able to speak certain things, we're going to be able to attract those things to our business. That's what I see in that. And then on top of that, if you're dealing with certain aspects of your lower nature, it's also speaking that. So for everyone else, when it comes to I think, that's dealing with communication, creativity, things that you think before you say. So that's basically what they're saying. Think before you say. Think before you say. So in the comments, write down what you think would be best for you when it comes to dealing with I circulate. Well, I think I circulate. What's one word that comes to mind? Go ahead and put it in the comments. I knew this card was gonna pop up. It always pop up when it does certain things. Letting people know, like, yeah, you gotta be very mindful, because when you're dealing with certain individuals, definitely gotta be mindful with them. It's also talking about, bringing out a lot of things within ourselves. Oh, I like that. Evolve, no doubt. Study. Hushing for myself. I know, right? Because you're circuit yourself. Truth. Yeah, truth, definitely. So in this third house, we want to speak in a form of evolving. We want to make sure we study what we're saying, be mindful of ourselves, and also speak truth as we're moving forward. So to go back into this retrospect, dealing with the first three houses, with Neptune being the first, Jupiter being the second, Scorpio being the third. So those are the type of energies that we need to bring from our first, second, and third house. Yeah, I know. Thank you, everybody, for keeping it PG. Thank you. Oh, God. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and go to our fourth house. So the fourth house is dealing with, in retrospect, we'll just talk about home instead of like going too deep into it. So we're dealing with the word I on a basic level. We're dealing with I. One second, I'm trying to get all this. I'm trying to get this thing together. In the fourth house, under 4 that we wrote down, you want to put I nurture. This is dealing with the things that you have in your in your home setting, not necessarily, but we're talking about on a basic level. We're talking about home. What do you need to do? What type of energy you need to bring to your home, as well as your appearance. We already discussed your business and the way that you communicate. Now we're going to talk about the resources that we also need when it comes to dealing with your home. Cleanse, and we also add that cleanse to that third. Bring truth and cleanse to your words. So yeah, dealing with the fourth house. We're dealing with our home. We're dealing with our upbringing. We're dealing with our roots. So for this card, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, open and loving energy. Definitely. Definitely. So for your fourth house, we got Sagittarius. Ooh, boy. Sagittarius for your fourth house. So this is going to be, the way I see it personally, it's on the level of, how you say, dealing with the changes of, on a basic level, we're dealing with certain aspects of religion, spirituality, um, certain laws that we abide by, things that we want to do to set forth and bring forth within our community. So with Sagittarius being that one that's dealing with another realm of higher knowledge, we're going to go back to what we said about Jupiter, because Jupiter's is and Sagittarius bring forth that same type of energy, but not necessarily. But what you want to write down for on a basic level is I explore. But we're on a different note when it comes to dealing with I explore. Whole different level of I explore. And if you look on the details of this card, it's in very deep within what you need to go, what you need to think about, I should say. Forget about the whole Centaur thing, in a sense. If you want to still use it, you're more than welcome. But look in depth what's coming in from the background and understand the type of energy you need to bring when it comes to dealing with your home. So now, in retrospect, you have I nurture, I explore. What's one word that you can think of to describe the type of energy we need to bring to our home, to our foundation, to bring about certain things of our roots? What is one word that you think we should bring to the table? That's deep. So that's like a whole combination of certain ones. Mm. So the type of energy that we need to bring would be knowledge to our home, bringing ourself home. For real. Bringing peace to your home. Yes. Greetings to you as well. I don't know if it's a greeting for the card, or is that just greeting you coming in? I thank you for coming in as well. So the type of energy that we want to bring in our fourth house or bringing with our home is dealing with wisdom, knowledge, self, and peace. Those are words that you want to write down. The type of energy you want to bring into your home is wisdom, knowledge, self. You can say greetings as well. I love it. Greetings, peace, wisdom, dealing with indifference. Ooh, that's deep. Thank you. No doubt, no doubt. I appreciate you being here as well. So I'll just give you a heads up of what we're doing. I'm giving everybody a breakdown of what is called transits using the astrology system, using these cards as flashcards to give you an idea. So the first three houses that we're doing, we're on our fourth house right now. I want you to write down, if you got a piece of paper, I need you to write down 1 through 6 going down. And then when you're ready, let me know. What's that? Kashia, Kasaya, Keisha, Bennett. If I mess up your name, I apologize. But to continue, I'll even use love for that one too. So we have wisdom, knowledge, self, greeting, peace, added to the wisdom of dealing with indifference, and we'll definitely bring in love as well. I appreciate that. So that's the type of energy you want to bring to your home within your fourth house. So again, just on a recap, Neptune is dealing with, your first house was dealing with I am. With Neptune being there, you have to write down I dream. So dealing with certain aspects of dream, imagination, things of that nature will be a first word that you will say of the type of energy you need to bring when you deal with certain events, or what type of energy that we, for this lecture tour, need to bring to these events. So Neptune's dealing with your first house. Jupiter is dealing with your second house, dealing with the things that you have, dealing with your business, dealing with expansion because of the energy of Jupiter, but it can also be detrimental because if you understand signs and symbols, in a sense, you understand what that also can bring your way as well. I wasn't supposed to go too deep. I apologize. For the third house, we're dealing with Sagittarius, dealing with the energy of Sagittarius, bringing another way of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. We were dealing with Scorpio. We was dealing with that type of energy. So we got sister nations by each other, which is pretty good. So the third house is dealing with Scorpio, dealing with communication, basically watching what we need to say and bringing more truth to it. With the fourth house dealing with the energy you need to bring to your home to accomplish those things that we just discussed earlier. You're going to bring that energy of Sagittarius to your home, which again deals with wisdom, knowledge, self, greetings, peace, wisdom, dealing with indifference, and then for the Hamet, love. All right. So now, what are we on? The fifth house. So now we're on the fifth house. Fifth house is dealing with the way that you express yourself, the type of energy we need to use when we express ourselves for these events, and then what we need to do, and bring that type of energy when we're around other individuals as well. How are we going to express ourselves from the ways that, we come from the Neptune energy in our parents, from the Jupiter dealing with our business and trying to get that abundance? How are we going to speak it into existence using that Scorpio energy? From that existence, we're coming to our home, which we need to rebuild and to regain that understanding and wisdom. Now we're dealing with the power of expression, how we express ourselves. So number 5 on a basic level is I express. So the card that we're going to get for this one, ooh, this is going to be great. Oh yeah, let me go ahead and also add some flavor to it a little bit. So a lot of us don't understand that Neptune is dealing with right now, currently, Neptune is what they call retrograde, which basically it's going in its proper place in a sense. Jupiter is also going to retrograde, and it's funny that these two pop up because these two are together in Aquarius. Both of them in retrograde at that. That's pretty interesting that they. I just thought about it once I seen this next card. Oh, this is gonna be great. So, yeah, that retrograde. This is advice. With that Neptune's, a lot of the energy that Neptune also gives at this current stage is dealing with a lot of things that we fear. So, you're gonna start facing a lot of your fears throughout the rest of this year because these retrogrades are gonna last for a little while. This next retrograde that's about to happen on the 19th of August on the Gregorian calendar. Is Uranus. So in the fifth house, we have Uranus. The energy of Uranus coming to your fifth house, the way that you express. Ooh, boy. So the type of energy I can give on a basic level that Uranus is giving. The type of ways that you need to express yourself within the things that you do, your creativity, things of that nature, how you approach people, how you gather certain things. So the type of energy that you want to start to manifest around you is always ever changeable. You don't want to give the feelings of rebelling towards certain people because those certain people are going to start seeing you in a different light. But at the same time, you'll have that attitude because, again, you're speaking with that Scorpio energy from your third house coming to the way that you express. And then with the planet right now being in Aries, even though we're not going to add that value to it, but we're dealing with rebellious stages. We're talking about change. We're talking about things that you need to operate on when it comes to bringing a great change to yourself and to others. So that type of energy is what you're going to bring. So Uranus also deals with this particular key word, which is I aspire. So in your fifth house, you want to put I express, I aspire. I aspire is dealing with groups, individuals, things that you inspire to be, or things that you want people want to aspire from you, or what you would like from them. So this whole dissertation that we're having is basically talking about all of us changing a lot of things within our business because we're also are getting what is called like an abundance in it. But there's certain things that we need to do to be more active, in our in the way that we communicate as well as how we express. So the type of energy that we're going to bring to this event is on a spiritual level times 1,000. That's basically what it says. Because we got a lot of high energy, a lot of water and fire and air going on right now. Peace to you, peace to you. No problem, no problem. So just to get a recap before we continue on to the last house, what I'm doing is actually giving talking about Astro Talk on our lecture tour, as well as understanding a transit reading that we're all doing currently for these upcoming events. So the question was, what type of energy do we need to bring to these events that's coming up? So I have people, if you have your pen and paper, peace to Kai Creations. What I'm telling people is to write down 1 through 6 on a piece of paper, and we're going to go through what is called a basic way to read the energies that we need for our inner world, which is dealing from the first to the sixth house, going counterclockwise. Just to catch you up, and if you want to watch it later, you're more than welcome. But to give you an update, the card that was drawn for our first house was Neptune. For our second house, it was Jupiter. For our third house, it was Scorpio. For our fourth house, it was Sagittarius. And now with us on our fifth house, we are dealing with Uranus. And no, I'm not talking about your ass. I'm talking about Uranus, the planet of change. a whole bunch of different changes. And when that planet goes in retrograde, you're about to see a lot of changes. Mark my word. So in this house for the 5th, you want to write down, I express, I expire. So what are the few words or words that you think come to mind when dealing with the way that you express and creativity, or the way that you move about or start to interact with folks, with the words of I aspire, dealing with, things that you inspire to do, dealing with friends, groups, inspirations, depths, levels of change, rebelliousness, things of that nature. What are the first word that comes to mind when dealing with I express, I aspire? I express, I aspire. What are the first words that come to mind when dealing with these words? What type of energy are you going to bring when it comes to I express, I aspire? High Grace is saying love. So we're going to bring love, gratitude, and being visible. So the type of energy we're going to bring is a change in the way that we step into another person's presence. We're going to bring that energy of love and gratitude from our person, dealing with the other energies of dealing with Neptune, because we already grounded ourselves in our spiritualness. So that type of energy is going to bring forth, and we're also bringing happiness as well. I appreciate that. So for that 5th house, that's the type of energy we need to bring the way that we express to others, as well as that we express within ourselves. Those type of energies are love, gratitude, visible, and happiness. I appreciate y'all for being with me on this. Definitely. So, on a recap again, that ever-changing energy that we need to bring when we express and be in contact with people. The type of energy that we're going to bring forth and change that frown upside down type thing, bringing that whole change of being in that downward spiral. We need to go ahead and definitely bring bring that happiness of love and gratitude, so we can uplift those who we inspire. So within our business, we definitely need to start doing that more, but being more truthful with our words when it comes to the things that we're trying to have or trying to gain within our business. I appreciate that. So now, the 6th house. The 6th house is dealing with, how you say, I serve. The 6th house is dealing with I serve. So in this one, we're going to go to a level of what is called, we'll use self-improvement. I serve will deal with self-improvement. What is it that we need energy-wise to bring towards our self-improvement in this house? So the last card, you just had to show up. Yeah, this whole, if I were to do a reading, this whole reading is about business. Somebody's business, definitely. Probably my own and everybody else who's on this live for real. So the type of self-improvement we need to bring is Capricorn. We need to bring that energy of Capricorn to that 6th house of the things that we serve, the way of self-improvement. So Capricorn, on a general statement, Capricorn people are all the way, business-minded individuals. So that's why I say this whole reading is definitely dealing with our business. When it comes to, like, in a sense of a tarot, maybe an oracle, but as a housing structure, it's giving us a suit to deal with our own business. We need to ground ourselves in our spiritualness, ground ourselves in whatever practice that we are on. We need to basically bring forth that energy and invoke it with the words of truth. What we know in the temple, it's called Macheru. Macheru is true voice. That type of business that we're all going to expand in is definitely going to be helpful. But at the same time, if we're not aware of the ways, the things that we speak, was dealing with the third house, and the way that we express ourselves, it definitely can be detrimental to what we do. So when it's dealing with Capricorn, on a basic level, we're dealing with the word. Put that on there. We're dealing with the word I achieve. So in your sixth house, you want to write down I serve, I achieve. So I achieve on a basic level is plain and simple. What are the things that you're going to achieve in when it comes to your reputation, things that you're trying to take power into? When it comes to dealing with the Capricorn, learn how to trust yourself and bring balance. Exactly, bringing balance within yourself, within your thoughts, because a lot of how they say, in a sense, that power of Capricorn within all of us, depending on where it's at in your houses. But on a basic level of a Capricorn, they're individuals who do not trust themselves and they do not trust others. But they're definitely great partners, but they also know how to swindle the way out of anything, because they're, how you say, people who can actually, what's that word? Metamorph into something else. They're ever changeable. That's why they have, when it comes dealing with their sign, there are three things in one. When dealing with it on a comedic side, we're dealing with Amut. Amut is a entity or deity that's at the scales of judgment. And if your heart weighs more than a feather of Amut eats your heart, which is your soul. So when it comes to the words that I'm looking for, we're looking at, reputation. How can you self-improve the way that of your reputation or the things that you can achieve it? In the comments, when it comes to that energy, it's like an earth energy as well. So it's like more so on the level of think on the grounding level, but also think on a way that's going to boost your business, because Jupiter is basically in the background talking about, I got you, but there's something that you got to do. And what it is more so expanding, meaning you got to travel. Henceforth, the tour is a traveling tour. But yeah. So in the comments, what do you think we all should bring to the table? The type of energy we need to bring to the table when dealing with how we serve the people as well as how we serve ourselves. So in the part of self-improvement, in the area of self-improvement, what type of energy do we need to bring? What type of energy that we need to achieve or bring forth within ourselves? Because remember, as I was discussing in the earlier parts, this is dealing with our inner world of ourselves. This is the parts that we all going to have to think about so we can bring forth the manifestation into the world. So we bring in balance, manifesting, definitely discipline, and always bringing that peace to self, bringing that peaceful guidance. So from that sixth spread, we have Neptune being the first house, Jupiter being the second, Scorpio being the third, Sagittarius being the fourth, Uranus being the fifth, and Capricorn being the sixth. So on the Astro note, yeah, keep manifesting. Yeah, definitely. So the type of energy that we need to bring to self-improve ourselves is balance, a double dose of manifestation, definitely discipline, and also bring that inner peace within our self-improvement to be okay with certain things and not be too judgmental on others. Um, Learning how to trust certain aspects of ourselves as well as others, but don't be too hidden in the shadows because that Scorpio energy is in your communication. So you definitely got to watch out for the things that we say. Definitely, definitely. And then now we got a hidden card. I actually pulled a different card too, an extra card. So for this card, for the audience, give one question. Everybody put a question in there. Just one question that's on your mind when it comes to dealing with yourself. Whatever question that is, I'm going to use this card that I didn't look at yet, the one I drew, and we're going to find out what it is that you need to improve within yourself or what type of energy you need to bring. It could be a real simple question. Don't have to be don't have to be that long. It's just definitely what is something that's dealing with yourself that you feel that you may need, or what type of energy you think you may need. What type of questions do you have for yourself that you've been wanting to know? If not, I'll put a question in. Um, I bet. So will I overcome in the moment? Am I going to create tomorrow? All right, that's what I'm talking about. All right. So am I going to create tomorrow? Definitely. Am I going to create tomorrow? Will I overcome? Will I overcome in the moments? Finding peace with my children. Do I have what it takes to do it alone? All right, so we're gonna go down the list for all those who's participated. So the type of energy you need to bring. Oh, I love it. So the type of energy that we need to bring, those who put in the questions, you need to bring that power of Mercury. So I'll try to give it a more in-depth part. So I say a couple of magic words to allow me to connect to you and you connect to me. So with this particular one, Mercury is your mind. Mercury is your mind. So when it comes to the first question, am I going to create tomorrow? With that type of energy that you need to bring, you got to start bringing forth more and more in depth of your creativity. You're definitely going to create, but what type of things are you going to create? They're asking you to search within your mind, in the back of your mind. We're talking about your third eye and your crown. So your crown needs to be, activate. Take your time, think about it, address yourself, put more thought into your creation. Definitely. So, like for instance, if you want to create tomorrow, create that mental energy to do what you need to do tomorrow. Will I overcome in this moment? By using your mind, you can overcome anything. The power that you have within yourself is always going to be able to create your scenarios, your projection. So for yourself, you're definitely going to have to use your third eye so you can see beyond sight. You want to know that certain things that you want to know, and you do have the power to do it. It's all mental for you. As long as you keep calm, you're definitely going to make it when it comes to overcome certain moments in your life. When it comes to finding peace with my children, when it comes to that particular thing, it goes as far as overcoming certain things that you need to overcome, is how they say, um, think about what you want to do towards them. What you say is going to build them up in a different way. The relationship that I'm seeing is more so on a level of a journey. It's a journey that you have to go through. Those mental parts of yourself and the way that you're, wanting to find that part. The best way that you find peace is how they say, either pray, meditate, or find a balance within them. Do I have what it takes to do it alone? Again, you have all the power of the mind to do it. Don't doubt yourself, because that's what brings you down into that, how you say that, lower vibration. If you want to use certain things, you want to start connecting to your solar plex and allow yourself to bring forth that energy. For you, Vanessa, I will bring forth your heart chakra and your throat chakra, so you can be in balance with the things that's within your heart when dealing with the things that came from you. I said things, my apologies, from the creations that you have brought forth. For you, Quantiera, it's definitely, you have what it takes. You cannot allow yourself to doubt yourself, because that's one thing that a lot of Scorpios do. They kind of doubt themselves, and then they have the capability of doing certain things, but depending on I think your rising sign is Libra. Yeah, I want to say your rising sign was Libra or Virgo. That part of you, within those two parts, you got to definitely learn how to balance yourself. And then I want to say, since you are the Libra rising, yeah, you're the Libra rising one. So with you being a Libra rising, you want to be more truthful about your situations. And when it comes to you, you want to definitely do that. You have all the power, write it down. That's what you definitely need to do. Write what you need down and watch it manifest. Will I be successful in my art? Yes, you definitely can, but make sure you don't doubt it. Don't never doubt what you create. You already have the capability of doing certain things, and we know how. From our last discussion, we already know, between me and you, Charbe, we already know what those steps is needed when it comes to that part. So for you, when it comes to dealing with your chakras as well, you need to learn to literally tap into that third eye, so you can see beyond within your art and create new things, because that's what Mercury's doing, communicating your art. The way that you write, or the way that you draw, or the way that you paint, those are the things that you need to do. Um, do I have to do my tribal without my offsprings? Mm, that's a good question. Um, it all depends on the degree of the level of what it is for your tribe. Um, when it comes to that particular part, it's also dealing with how you say siblings. So if you're going to communicate something and do certain things with your tribe, you want to communicate with your siblings and see if they can basically help you out in that area. But if you don't have that, then you want to make sure that you truly understand what your offsprings are going to be a part of. That's the best thing I could say for that one, to be honest. So for you, Zina Williams, you want to use your, you want to start off from your root and end in your use your root and your throat chakra. Learn to definitely bring balance in those two areas, because when it comes to dealing with that, you don't want to go down to your lower nature. Ashe, ashe, dua, dua. So, for that type of transit reading, we understand that from our first to our sixth house, dealing with our inner self, when it comes to the masculine and feminine energy that we're dealing with, right? So we got feminine energy, masculine energy, feminine energy, feminine energy, feminine energy, masculine energy, masculine energy. So at the end of the day, there's a balance between masculine and feminine energy that we need to bring to the table. And yes, you definitely um honestly, I'm not gonna even lie. That's up to you when you want to do that. If anything, if you want to draw something, I would draw um what is that called? Um I would draw certain X-Men characters. That's what I would. If I was you, Kai, draw a couple of X-Men characters. That's going to definitely bring about some things within yourself. So the type of energy is a mixture between masculine and feminine. A whole lot of masculine and feminine energy. Whole lot of masculine and feminine energy. When it comes to that Mercury, it's a mixture between masculine and feminine energy as well. So the certain type of balance that you need to bring, you need to ground yourself in both of these things. Because that was the special card that I drew for everybody. Mercury, using your mind. Uranus is what you call the planet of change. And then change was within the fifth house, right? So you need to change certain things that you do and act. When it comes to Neptune, Neptune is definitely dealing on a spiritual level, communication. Listen to your ancestors, listen to your family in certain aspects, listen to those vibrations, feel the vibration. You know, that song, one of my favorite songs, by Snap. But that's basically what it's telling us. Be more grounded in our spiritual. Correct. Draw some of the X-Men. That'll bring forth something within you. And that second house will bring in that feminine energy of Jupiter. So it's more so in a place of wanting to share our gifts in a way. But how do we do it? We got to be in abundance with it. Or we got to bring abundance, because the type of energy that we expand within ourselves can expand in others. But also, as a side note, when dealing with Jupiter itself, understand that if you're not in that proper state, you understand that it's death over matter. So always be aware of that as well. When it comes to that feminine energy and the way that we speak and think, we have a special guest.
Wow. Peace and love to everyone. Peace and love to everyone. Gratitude to Ramutef Qeb. Peace and love and gratitude to everyone in the comment section, the audience. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I wanted to come in, and I appreciate Ramutef allowing me to interrupt his broadcast. And right now, I am proud of him. I'm proud of Ramutef. This is first time. You're doing an excellent job. I appreciate you. I also appreciate, and I wanted to come deliver this message of appreciation to everyone that has wished condolences to me and my family, and wholeness and wellness, and all of the tributes. I appreciate all of you. And I appreciate Sibu Ramutef Qeb for sitting in for me today for this scheduled broadcast. And I'd like to right now recognize the participants of my lecture tour, which Ramutef has spoke on. I appreciate the mother matriarch, Cherie Reed, Cherise Reed, El Messiah Code. I appreciate my sister, Shay Yu. I appreciate again the Siba Ramutef Qeb. I appreciate the mother matriarch, Salima Ellis. I appreciate the Hamet, the Mutnatar herself, Ast by Asthed Haru. And I appreciate the Hamet, the Mutnatar. She's here in the audience today, Quantiera. And I appreciate everyone else that has supported me through my lecture tour and my efforts on my platform. And I just wanted to speak my piece. I'm going to leave at this time and watch the rest of the broadcast with everyone else. And I think the next time I see you all and speak to you all will be after next Saturday for the after I complete my first stop on my lecture tour, which is in Washington, D.C. So again, peace and love to everyone. Wholeness, wellness, balance, peace and love to everyone. And I love you all. Thank you. Gratitude. Peace, Ramutef. Peace.
Peace, peace, peace. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yes, definitely love, guidance, and protection in the daily experience upon a matter to Hamet Joy Allen. Definitely didn't want to speak on that because I don't like to put people's business out there like that. But if you, now that everyone is aware, definitely send that positive energy towards Hamet and the family, because it's not just her family that's definitely in the wake of the of mourning, but it's all of us because we are a collective. Because it's not just one person who has lost something; it's everyone who's lost something. Because we understand that when it comes to the level of what's going on, especially when dealing with the elders, you know, or as they say, when an elder passed, the library's burned. So it's definitely much gratitude, Joy. Definitely, I appreciate you. Definitely, definitely. Hey, peace, 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 peace. But definitely so. Before we end the broadcast, I would like, if anybody would love to do one more question, and I'm going to choose three cards only for the for your question. And within that question, I'm just going to tell you some keywords for you to decipher for yourself when it comes to the energy that you need to bring towards your question. So before we end the broadcast, if you have a question that you want to know about, put it in the comments and I'll draw three cards for you and I'll tell you what energy to bring to the table. It's time for me to travel. Ashe, ashe, dua, dua. It's time for me to travel. Oh yeah, it definitely is, because that's what the cards were saying in the earlier part of the broadcast. When that's having that Jupiter and that Sagittarius in there, and what is it? Jupiter was in the second house, so and Jupiter is dealing with also the energy of traveling. So, oh yeah, you're definitely. Is it time for you to travel? Definitely. But that's just for a universal collectiveness for all of us. But for you, I'll go ahead and draw three cards for you as well. And what I'm going to do is tell you from those three cards, just understand the energy that comes with it. I'm going to put in certain keywords for you. And from those keywords, decipher it for yourself, and you'll be able to figure it out. Definitely. So, well, Salima, is it time for Salima to travel? Is it time for Salima to travel? Is it time for Salima to travel? And survey says I love it. So Salima, you got Leo, so you got that creativity and love. So for this one, I will put I express. Oh, you got Cancer too. So I nurture, and Pluto for I dream. So I express, I nurture, I dream. No, 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 no. I'm sorry. That's not I dream. I apologize. That's I circulate. So yes, yes. Is it time for you to travel? Definitely time for you to travel. During the season of Leo, when it comes to dealing with certain things of your roots and families, you're dealing with education, right? And then Pluto's dealing with transformation. Henceforth, the lecture tour is expressing family values and transforming them, or creating home structures in an evolutional way. So, is it time for you to travel, Salima? Definitely. Definitely. Definitely, definitely, definitely. All right, next one. Next one. Write a am I going to write a poem of you? Is Kai going to write a poem of me? Is Kai going to write a poem of me? Is Kai going to write a poem of me? Is Kai going to write a poem of me? Survey says Saturn dealing with I achieve, I circulate, I explore. So when it comes to that type of energy that you want to bring, if you write a poem of me, you want to make sure you bring structure, but don't go beyond your limitations. Make sure that it's definitely in the form of sharing the parts of your gifts and understanding what type of transformation that you feel that I will bring within your words, and also bring that energy of exploration as well. So, in a sense, I would say it'll be up to you, but make sure that you don't overexert yourself. Because me being the type of person that I am, I'm all over the place. Definitely all over the place. But definitely, if you write a poem, make it make it about time, make it about transforming, and make it about reaching for the stars. That would be a yes if you do so. But again, make sure you don't overwork yourself. Okay. I got you. You is an accident. Okay, am I going to write a poem? Okay, if you're going to write a poem, the direction of what you want to write is structure your poem, make it manifest within certain ways and certain avenues, and also bringing in certain parts of knowledge because you have all that's in your head, all the things that's in your head, the creativity that you possess. Kai, you definitely have the power to create poems as well as within your art, because art is also a poem. It's a written poem, but it's described as a picture. How will my future as a film producer be? Oh, that's gonna be deep. That's gonna be deep. How how will her future be as a film producer? How will her future be as a film producer? How is her future as a film producer? How is her future film producer? Survey says, what type of energy you need to bring? Saturn as well, so you need to limit certain things within the film industry. Um, Definitely something that you are going to do dealing with Taurus, and you need to literally ground yourself. So depending on what you are going to do, understand your limitations within that industry. Learn how to ground yourself on the daily, so you can build towards that project. So your future is looking good, but at the same time, that's with that Saturn being a retrograde right now. Make sure that your health is together first, because this is talking about you as well. So it's talking about your with it being in retrograde, you being a Taurus itself. So it's telling you to start taking care of your body, start nurturing your soul, and also um, definitely don't push yourself too hard while you're in that industry, because it can be, and as you see right here, it can be time. Time is on your side, but at the same time, you gotta learn how to structure yourself better. But don't allow them to take you out. If that makes sense. And definitely make sure you study more within what you're going to do within that industry, because it's definitely going to be a great outcome, because you got a lot of earth in that mug, as you can see, a whole bunch of earth in that mug. So it's also telling you to definitely ground yourself in that stuff. So as you're going into it, learn the steps, the procedures. Don't sign anything that you're not aware of. And if you are aware of it, know what you can get out of it before you really put yourself in that arena. But yes, your future looks pretty good, but you got to make sure you limit yourself as well within it. Make sure you cross your T's and your I's and dot your, cross your T's and dot your I's. Yeah, that's it. That's what you got to start doing when it comes into that field. Even better. Facts. I appreciate that. Dua. Yeah. Right. Definitely. Ashe, dua. That's what I'm talking about. Well, yeah, if you got it ready, definitely put it out there pretty soon. Because when that planet goes into retrograde on August 19th on the Gregorian calendar, a lot of things are going to change for us as a people, as a unit around this world. The things that we all have, the things that we're all doing right currently, as long as we put the right seeds, or planted, I'm sorry, as long as we planted the right seeds during those seasons up until now, when those things start to bloom coming very soon. And I think what the moon, what'll be in like Aquarius or Pisces. I think it'll be full around that time, if I'm not mistaken. I can double check, to be honest. But that next full moon that's coming up, so that's on the 21st, in a sense, moving into the 21st. Hey, that's on the event, and it's going to be in Capricorn. Oh, that's not good. But that is good. But yeah, we definitely going to have some an interesting time. We're going to definitely have an interesting time. So yeah, by the time this event starts on the 21st, that moon will be full. So a lot of things that we have planted moving forward, a lot of them is going to start showing themselves. So be thankful in a lot of things that we do. Be thankful in the things and the people that we work with. because a lot of it's going to show forth and bring forth a lot of great things. Also, I want to say congratulations again to Vanessa Henderson, Van Miller, on your on a lot of success that's bringing forward. Definitely tune in to her channel on I Found My Voice with Van Miller on Wednesdays at noon. Definitely look out for the posts and definitely look out for a lot of things that she is going to bring forth. And I Found My Voice. I myself have been a part of it. Joy has been a part of it as well. It's definitely a place where if you are looking to find your voice, you'll definitely find it there. So dua to you, Queen Mother. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And the certain ways or forms of when dealing with communication, everybody's different in a sense. Some people are the same, but a lot of people are different when it comes to on Thursdays. Oh yeah, Thursdays at noon o'clock. At noon. My apologies. So tune in. Definitely, I'll post a link as always. Tune in on Thursdays at noon for the Van Miller Talk Show. I Find My Voice. Ashe, dua. When it comes to have you ever communicated with your ancestors? When it comes to a few of them, yes. When it comes to the certain ones that I work with now, yes. Um, when it comes to the parts in your dream or your astral project, yes. Um, and then when the ones that walk with you, I'm still trying to learn how they function. But so far, I'm starting to know that they're the ones who's doing the ringing in your ear. Um, so understand, but you gotta understand which one is which, who's on what shoulder, or tapping you on your shoulder. Yes, definitely, folks, tune into that. So, do anybody have any other questions before we go today? And definitely make sure you check out these events that we got coming up, which is on again. I'll pop them up for those who are who are just tuning in as a recap. But if you have any other questions before I do this recap and end the broadcast, you're more than welcome. So yes, we have the books, bikes, and bags, etc. That will be on on the 21st, as I was speaking about the full moon in Capricorn. That's gonna be great. Would you communicate with MJ? Personally, no. Kai Gracious, I definitely want. I only deal with the ones that are tied to myself and the ones who actually come to me. Because when it comes to dealing with those type of rounds, you're dealing with spirits, and spirits are nothing to be played with. Especially if you're in tune with it. Definitely, I ain't trying to deal with certain things. But and then on top of that, if it's depending on the time frame of when it comes to reincarnation, if we're talking about MJ as in the great Michael Jackson, then yes, then we're talking about someone who might reincarnate, but he already reincarnated within his children, so he is always here. You can always communicate with him, but it's kind of hard because of the lifestyle that his children live. But yes, tune in, join us on the books, bikes, and bags, etc. lecture tour, where she'll be talking about a great writer named of Langston Hughes, as well as going on Brightwire and seeing things of that nature. Come communicate with us, come talk with us, break bread, things of that nature. Tickets are no longer on sale, just as a reminder. But also for the folks, definitely come see us. If you see us riding, as that song is, we definitely ain't gonna be riding dirty. That's a fact. And then also join us here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, for the September 4th event for the Netaru Tep, where myself and Joy will be speaking at this conference. This conference is definitely something big to myself and to her when it comes to dealing in the realm, because this is in the area of how we started working together. I'm very thankful for the things and the opportunities that she has brought within my life and the people she has brought into my life. So this event is definitely special. Definitely contact us to get your tickets on MKD Senior, if you got questions, information, things that you're looking for, definitely write her on an email or write myself on an email from mkdtnt@gmail.com, or you can contact myself for tickets and information for under DTALIAFERRO84 as well. Definitely still looking for vendors, and also um, those who want to watch it on YouTube live, things of that nature. You definitely won't be disappointed in any of these lectures that we're being a part of. Also, come join us on September 18th in Columbus, Ohio, from 3 to until for the Unschool Evolution or Homeschool Evolution, where we're definitely going to bring about a topic that most of our people should be doing, or are doing, or should be doing, or want to do. We're going to bring forth a different way of a collectiveness of all this type of information, so we can bring forth a new generation that's not with all this bullcrap coming to this world right now. Tickets are available, as well as virtual tickets as well on PayPal me at KarmicDynasty.com. If you want information, definitely contact her at mkdtnt@gmail.com. Definitely read something that you want to get your hands into, because it's not just for you, it's for those generations after us as well. And last and not least, we have the October 16th event out there in Detroit, Michigan for the Matriarchal Magic, which is definitely going to be a very powerful event. And it's definitely something that's near to her. So definitely check her out, because the energy is still vibing out there, definitely, because Detroit is a very interesting place. A lot of people don't know too much about it. But definitely, if you want more information, contact Joy at mkdtnt@gmail.com. Definitely. Home to my ancestral line. I'm, I'm not promoting it, but I will definitely find a way to get some ayahuasca for that. But what comes to mind, right? When it comes to dealing with this whole things with dealing with our land, I, for one, is also in that process as well. There's a lot of things that we need to bring to the table before you even do that stuff. If you have not traced your lineage, in a sense, virtually, or if you're not having find items or locations where these ancestors dwell or have dwelled in, um, you'll be, right, definitely, because they'll take you on that journey. They'll take you on that journey. Trust me. Um, um, but yeah. So for using Zena, the best advice I can give to you for that one is that you definitely need to go and find these places, because there's a lot of information that our ancestors have left behind. When you start to trace through your family lineage, there's certain things like let's say for instance, a handkerchief or a ring or a book or a pot, things of that nature. Find out where that came from. Search within yourself. Meditate with it, because you got to remember your ancestors' energy is on that. And then to find out with that land, honestly, there's certain ways that you can, go about it, but there's a risk that comes with it, and that risk is basically dealing with your blood. Um, but if you want to go and take that route and find out what type of ancestry placements you have when it comes to dealing with your blood, be my guest. I've done it, but I haven't done it personally. But my family has done it, and that has brought me to the adventure that I found out when it comes to dealing with ancestral land myself. So there's many ways of doing it, but it's like an adventure that you're setting yourself to do. And then once you put yourself in that adventure, you got to be macho root to it and stay true to it. Don't allow anybody to get into your way. If you're going to involve your family, definitely involve your family. But if they're not for it, don't waste your time. Oh, that's dope. That's what I'm talking about. So if you have that part when it comes to that part of dealing with their laws. Understand that a lot of the laws that we're dealing with is maritime laws, so we're dealing with the laws of the sea. You need to try to figure out a way to bring the laws of the land into that conversation in order for you to get, a full instruction. Because when you're going to those courts, understand that you are jumping ship when you go into those courtrooms. So there's ways around it that you probably are doing or may not doing, but definitely tread lightly, have all your information right, and send it out. So if we have any other questions before ending this live, do you want to do like another energy reading in a sense when it comes to dealing with what type of energy you need to bring? Just let me know in the comments and we'll get started. But if not, I appreciate everybody at this time. Thank you on another installation on Karmic Dynasty, dealing with your host, Ramutef Qeb, a new Ramutef Qeb on Ramutef Qeb. You can find me on Facebook as Ramutef Qeb. You can find me on Instagram as Ramutef __ Qeb. Knowing that I'm a practitioner of divination practices, and from those practices, I'm using them to help and uplift our people. Because I'm set forth to be in a spirit, I am a spiritual advisor. So if you want to find me, those are the way you can contact me. There's different ways that we can do certain things, but at this present moment, I thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time, your energy. Thank you for being participants of this energy, because this energy is not just for us that's being a part of this, it's for yourself too. So just in a way, what you have written down is going to help guide you for the rest of this week. Bring that type of energy to everything that you do and watch what happens, watch what you manifest, because that's we're dealing with your inner world. So focusing on that energy is going to bring abundance out into the physical. Peace, peace, peace. So I'll definitely want to end the broadcast. I appreciate everyone. Atun Ra, Ma Hotep.